Welcome back to the Hitting the Turnbuckle podcast, Monday Night Raw review from Brussels in Belgium. And well, we could see him, and we've been broken up with by the GOAT that is John Cena. More on that literally straight away. Raw kicks off with the aforementioned John Cena. No new theme music, no new merch to a degree, although the merch is pretty much coloured of the country or the sort of colours of the country that he's in. Um, Usual theme, usual merch. He comes out. No, there was no nothing like that. No talking to Stu, the cameraman. He did hold up the hustle, loyalty, respect thing that he still has, or whatever it is, on his sleeve. He comes out, walks to the ring, crowd booing him. There's "fuck you, Cena" chants. There's everything going along for John Cena, and he a couple of times he was just going to get ready to walk out the ring. And I was like, here we go. He's not going to talk. And I was saying this to our friends over at the Ringside Renaissance podcast, that I think that he may come out and do a Chris Jericho and just say nothing. But no. Oh, I couldn't be so wrong. He tore into us. It was like he was basically saying he had been in an abusive relationship for 25 years. No matter how much he put in, we hated him. We wanted more. He didn't get nothing. It was like this. Oh man, it was just so good. The promo that John Cena cut on us. He called us sons of bitches. He said everyone that was not wearing the Cena shirts was a hater. And he said the ones that are wearing the Cena shirts were part of the problem as well. He had a go at a kid wearing a shirt. It was just incredible stuff from John Cena. I thought this was one of the best promos. I'll try and get rid of the sun again. Yes, it's sunny in England. Miracles do happen. It's still not quite working, but never mind. He done some amazing stuff. It was amazing mic work, incredible promo. And then to top that off, Cody Rhodes appears on Raw. He comes out. My instant criticism to Cody coming out was he was literally smiling and shaking hands with everybody. And I'm like, John Cena kicked the shit out of you with Travis Scott on The Rock at Elimination Chamber, and you're smiling with everyone. I didn't get that. I didn't get that. I didn't understand why he would do that. I thought, well, is what it is, kind of thing. I felt that was a little bit like weak, really, because you would be pissed. You would be absolutely pissed off. Cody come out though and said, like, to be quite honest with you, John, I don't want to hear your bitch. You go, I want the man on that shirt at WrestleMania, because if you bring the man that you've just walked out here is basically he's going to easily beat him, and he will retire John Cena early at WrestleMania if he doesn't bring the John Cena on his t-shirt. I mean, the, I think Cena's promo was as good as you could probably hope for. You know, it delivered. His explanation was so logical as well, because if you think about everything that Cena has done, every time the crowd got on his back, all of that, it was absolutely logical. When he said, like, I'm breaking up with you, that was just like, it was a priceless line. It was so well delivered. As I said, it was a logical explanation. And it was great that he even said, "You're not getting no new music. You're not getting no new merch. You're not getting nothing else." He even said that he was a walking meme with the whole "you can't see me" stuff, the invisible stuff, for like 25 years. The Cody Rhodes bit, the line was good about, if you don't bring the man on your shirt at WrestleMania, retiring you. I feel as if Cody Rhodes wasn't needed here, unless he was going to come out and do something, be really angry, or come out, like I said, him walking out and smiling and shaking hands and kissing the kids and all that shit. Didn't need to do that, because for me, that was underwhelming, and it kind of killed the moment a little bit in what was a brilliant logical explanation from Cena. I really enjoyed it. I didn't enjoy Cody's bit, but overall, it was 25 minutes. And you know what? Sometimes when they had those 25-minute promos, you sit there and you're like, geez, come on. I was on the edge of my seat. I was hooked for those 25 minutes. Now, actually, they've announced that next week in Glasgow, they're going to be in the same arena again. I just hope, my only hope with this is that we don't get week upon we've only got 4 weeks until WrestleMania. My hope is though that we don't get week upon week upon week of talking with these two. Something's got to give between these two at some point. We're obviously probably going to get a contract signing. We had one of them on Raw with the women side of things. Which is generally chaos. I don't mind that. I don't know what I want. I think maybe some tune-up matches, like perhaps John can have a quick refresher match to get himself, ready. Cody can maybe have a quick refresher match just to get himself ready for Mania. I don't think there needs to be any physicality from the two, but I would like to see something different other than talking every week because I hate that. I don't think it's needed. You don't need to build the story. The story is already built. It's now just getting to that point of WrestleMania, which we're all very much looking forward to. And again, a very, very good promo from John Cena on Raw. We move from that to no holds barred in Belgium between Penta and Ludwig Kaiser. It'd been going on for a while on this. They've obviously been feuding pretty much since Penta had come in. I would say I don't quite know why we needed no holds barred. There wasn't anything because normally when no holds barred comes up, there was a gruesome attack or something has happened in matches where you can get to a no holds barred. The story wasn't there for me. I didn't quite understand why we were having it. Nevertheless, fun match. Penta has always looked strong since he's come to WWE. That was still the case on this. Kaiser was fantastic in the ring. He still was very underrated here. Penta wins the match. I mean, there was chairs used, there was tables that not breaking. That was a theme of Raw this week. The tables have been reinforced or eaten their spinach before we went out there. The announce table, the commentaries announce table hasn't gone through, even though I think it was Penta put Kaiser through it. Chairs were used. He swung a chair at Kaiser, and I think his nose imprinted into the chair at one point. He did do a Mexican driver, finished it with the Penta driver for the win. Kathy Kelly then comes out onto the stage to interview Penta, and Penta has said that he wants to go for the Intercontinental Championship at WrestleMania, currently held by Braun Breaker, although his match with Finn Balor later on was for the Intercontinental Championship. So we'll get to that. Penta and the Intercontinental Championship, I can get that. I totally think that's a good thing. My belief and my gut says there will be a multi-person match for the Intercontinental title. I feel it would be like 4 or 5, maybe even 6 people involved in that particular match. It won't just be one-on-one between Penta and the Intercontinental Champion. It will be a case of, I reckon, probably a fatal 4-way. Would be my bet at this point, but we will see, and we'll see who the Intercontinental Champion is very, very shortly. Now, after that, we go into the Judgment Day. Judgment Day's locker room. And Finn was wishing Raquel luck in her match next week. She's going for the women's Intercontinental Championship. They were wishing Finn luck in his championship. And then Dominic comes in and just says, look, we still haven't really spoken about this new member. And Dominic said, I think we should go for Penta. And he was like, are you going behind my back? Finn really lashed out for him, called him a snake. And he's got Braun Breaker later on, and Penta's going for the Intercontinental Championship. And it was quite funny because they said on this bit that the colleague would come into Dominic and say, do you not watch the show? Like, what are you doing? Which was quite funny. They also had a bit out the back with Diamond Mine and Mysterio and Dragon Lee making a tag match for later on, saying about the Luchador. And Ivan and I was like, well, it's not Chad Gable. And I can't remember who it was. The other one of the other members was like, who is it then? It was ridiculous, ridiculous moment. But it leads nicely into the first women's action on Raw, which was Dakota Kai and Ivy Nile. I like these two, and I'm frustrated with the booking of American Made in general. Dakota Kai winning, no problem. It was more of a point of was getting to the LWO Chad Gable angle for later on because Chad, as the American or El Gringo Americano, whatever he's going to be called, did come out during this match, and he actually distracted Ivy Nile, costing her the match. I'm frustrated with the booking for American Made. I'll get into that in a minute. It didn't look good for the booking of the women's division. If I'm being totally transparent with you, and I'm a big advocate of women's division wrestling. I like the fact, the action was good. The action in the ring was fine, but unfortunately, building it in the way that they did with the ending, it just did look great. And I just fear that I fear for American Made. We'll get into that in a minute, and I'll get into my thoughts on Chad Gable in a minute. But following that, we had the contract signing for the Women's World Championship match at WrestleMania. And as you know, when WWE do contract signings, they never work. And it was no different. Actually, to be fair, for the majority of this contract sign, it was quite pleasant. They went in there, they had a little bit on the mic. They both signed the contracts, and Adam Pearce was like, "Well, my job's done. Thank you very much." He spoke in Belgium at the start of it, which Corey Graves was like, he said something like "show off." And I must say quickly, just going back to John Cena, Michael Cole, you can't underestimate Michael Cole in this whole John Cena thing. And I apologize for going back on something. I just remembered it. After before John come out, he was like, you know what? I've known John 25 years. We're going to give him the benefit of the doubt. Let him come out and explain himself. That he's owed that much. And you're like, yeah, that's fair. Yeah, he's that's a good thing. And afterwards, Michael Cole just basically he actually called him a prick. It was quite interesting. It was really he said some other things on there, but it was just so well done. Um, I really enjoyed it from Michael Cole. Anyway, that was just a slight aside that I just remembered about the Cena thing. So they signed their contracts. Adam Pearce is like, "Yep, thank you for being so professional. Brilliant. It's all done." And just as you think, oh, hang on a minute, this isn't a typical WWE contract signing. This is my brutality. Out comes Rhea Ripley, who basically attacks both of them. They have the little to do again where she's getting in the face of Bianca. Io comes up, they push her away. Io comes up, they push her away. Rhea Ripley then ends up putting Bianca onto the table, power bombing Io Sky onto the table, and the table doesn't break again. So, and she ends up signing the contract as well, which was quite interesting. So, obviously, look, it's not even been confirmed because they have a little bit to do at the back, which I'll get to in a minute. But, Io Sky's promos were minimal, which is fine. So they didn't do a lot to build the match, but I felt as if the build was coming with Rhea Ripley. You always kind of anticipated Rhea Ripley would be involved in the match in some way. My only thing about this is the champion kind of getting. She got bullied last week by him. I think it was last week by them. This week she got bullied again. The fight. So basically, what happened was after that. Goes out the back. Rhea Ripley's demanding to be added to the match. Adam Pearce says no. She signs the con. She's already said, "I've signed the contract, so do it." Like, no, it's not happening. And then it all hell breaks loose again at the back with the three of them. Rhea Ripley again gets the advantage, throws him into some equipment backstage. But my thing about this is Rhea is that Io Sky is the champion. She's been bullied the last couple of weeks by these two, and I just feel that your champion should be going into your match at the biggest match at WrestleMania with a little bit more momentum. I mean, maybe she will. Look, there's 4 weeks to go. There's more stuff to be added to this. But right now, I don't see Io Sky as a credible champion against Bianca and Rhea Ripley. That's how they've positioned it. So in my view, why would you put Io Sky in a match if you're really focusing on Rhea and Bianca, unless it was somebody to take the fall in the match at WrestleMania, which seems a bit, weird to do that. But my only feeling is that Io Sky is just there to eat the pinfall and lose the title, and it's all really centered around Bianca Belair and Rhea Ripley, which is not really good when she's your champion. But we'll see. Look, next week in Glasgow, something else could happen. We'll find out. Then we come to main event Jey Uso. Now, Jey Uso was taken on Austin Theory. He beat Grayson Waller last week. Obviously, he does the pre-match usual stuff. He's been doubting himself. He's going to shock the world at WrestleMania. Then Gunther comes, he shoved Jey Uso. So he talks to Jimmy on Smackdown. They've separated them. And then Jey Uso makes his entrance. The crowd in Belgium, by the way, awesome all night long. Was fantastic. Brilliant, brilliant crowd all night, loud. Because then there was only like 7, 8,000 people in there. It sounded like there was double that, so it was really, really good for them. The bell rings on this. Little back and forth. Jay throws Austin Theory into the ropes. He hits the ropes. Austin Theory jumps up for a crossbody. And I think Jay's trying to spear him, but then has kind of cross-bodied him himself and pinned him. 1, 2, 3, 60 seconds gone, match over. And you sit there and you're like, okay, you were trying to get Jey Uso. And I suppose the point that they were trying to make from this is to get Jey Uso to a bit where you actually believe he's got a chance of beating Gunther. Because at the moment, with the way the storyline's been going, Jey Uso's going to get choked out, or he's going to go. He's not got a chance. So for Jey Uso to come in, hit the super kick, hit the modified spear crossbody thing, you're then led to believe, oh, hang on a minute, he's got a chance. But I feel as if the way that match went, he should have just speared him out of the gate, bang, and got it done, and that's it, because it looked bad. Following that, he then super kicks him out of the ring. Grayson Waller gets involved. He gets him out of the ring. He then tries to dive over the top rope. He mistimes it badly. His neck lands on the ring apron. In a really bad, it looked nasty. He got back in and said he's fine, and and as he got back in, Gunther come in, went to choke him out. Jey Uso then got the upper hand on Gunther and super kicks him out the ring. It was a dominant win in a way. I think the best part about this was it was totally based. It was more of an angle than anything else. What I would say is that Jey Uso's finally stood tall over Gunther, because it's been a bit of an underwhelming thing. Gunther keep choking him out, and you kind of what I suppose they're trying to position is you're led to believe Jey doesn't stand a chance at WrestleMania, so they had to give him a little bit here. It was a good step. It was just an underwhelming, way of doing it. Got really, I'll be honest, I've really got no interest in this match at WrestleMania, if I'm being quite honest with you. Um, yeah, I'm not a fan at the moment of this, and that didn't help this week for me. It was nice that Jay gets a little bit of momentum, but it's just not working right now. I just don't see him as a credible winner or a champion, and maybe that's where they're going with it. Maybe they're going to build him into a champion. We'll see, but I'm not a fan of the Jey Uso situation right now. Anyway, now going back to earlier on, we mentioned the LWO, Dragon Lee, Rey Mysterio. They were going against the American Made, the Creed brothers. They did win the match, the LWO. At the end of it, the masked luchador comes in, and he basically gave them some sick looking German suplex. The masked man then jumps into the top rope and does, well, shall I say, a Benoit headbutt off the top rope. Another loss for American Made, which is annoying. The Chad Gable thing that he's now wrestling under a mask is, for me, insulting to Chad Gable. This guy, and I don't know how many times on this show we've had to say this with Chad, they have put him in stupid gimmicks, Shorty G. The guy is a world champion. And you've got him in a fucking American mask jumping around the ring like an idiot. It is just crap. Ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous what they're doing to Chad Gable again, and I hate it. I absolutely hate it. The guy is so much better than that. American Made and Ivy Nile are so much better than that. You need to start pushing these guys correctly. I'm not saying Chad Gable should instantly go for the world championship. But what I'm saying is he is a world champion in the making. He's got all the skills to be a world champion, and yet you're putting stupid masters on him. American Made are probably one of the best tag teams that they've got in the WWE, or the Diamond Mine, whatever you want to call them, Julius and Brutus Creed. And Ivy Nile is someone that is just, she's not, is she the tallest? No, but she's got a great build to her. She's got a great look. She can go in the ring. I want to end Raw one show with Diamond Mine holding up championships, like tag title, maybe the Intercontinental and the Women's Intercontinental title, something along those lines. That's what they should be doing with them, but they're not. Or even just let's get building some momentum up, because right now they're losing every single week, and they're probably one of the four best people on that roster. It's a frustrating thing. I'm frustrated with it. I don't know where they're going with this. And it's probably going to end up with yet another loss for American Made anyway. Let's be honest. Anyway, let's move on. Seth Rollins comes out and Belgium plays his song, sings that song for about 5, 10 minutes. But basically, Seth Rollins has basically said that, you know what? Punk's on SmackDown this week, Roman's on SmackDown this week, and I'm coming on SmackDown this week. So I feel as if this was more a bit of fluff more than it was. I would have expected Rollins to be a bit more firm. You know, he come out fucking singing, dancing. He come out looking like a fucking cross dresser again. You know, like he normally does. Much like the Cody thing, you've just been cost. Well, you won your cage match, but you've just been beaten up by Roman Reigns, and you're coming out and you're dancing and you're singing and you're laughing. And why would you do that? You would be like, do you know what, Roman? I would have just come out. I would have had him march to the ring and say, do you know what? Last week, blah blah blah. You're on SmackDown. You're on SmackDown. I'm coming to SmackDown to join the party. Bang, mic down, off. Instead of that, you had him prancing around the ring like fucking Barney the dinosaur, while everyone was, doing his song. For me, it didn't work. It should have been a firmer, angrier Seth Rollins saying that he's going to SmackDown rather than what we got. But what do I know? Hey, I don't book the shit. After that, there's quite an interesting bit with AJ Styles and Karrion Cross, and they were talking about initially was talking about Logan Paul. Karrion Cross taps him on the shoulder, was like, hear me out," and he was like, "Maybe you're just annoyed at yourself, AJ." AJ goes to walk away, and he said that he didn't take, it took AJ 17 years to get him to WWE, and look, it's taken Logan Paul 5 minutes basically to be a success in the business. And that stormed off. I'm not sure with WrestleMania where they're going with this. Are they going with AJ and Logan? What's going on with Karrion Cross? I love Karrion Cross's work. I've always loved the work. I feel like they're kind of trying to get him up there because of basically Vince McMahon totally fucking him over when he come in the first place. So I felt that there was that missing from Karrion Cross. It's getting there now. I'm enjoying it. I think it's time for Karrion Cross to really come out of his shell a bit and make more, or become a talent that he is, for want of a better phrase. We'll find out next week, maybe what happens next week in Glasgow, Scotland. Main event time. It was Braun Breaker. It was Finn Balor in the Intercontinental title match. It was a good match here. And do you know what the WWE done really, really well in this? All throughout the night, they were hyping up the Intercontinental title. And it felt like they were hyping it up like there was going to be a change, right? Like it did with the SmackDown titles on SmackDown when the Street Profits won the championships. It felt like it were doing it. They felt like they were going to go with it. It was getting that big fight feel, which was great because again, championships need to be important in wrestling, right? And I know that they're probably still not in a lot of people's eyes, but they need to feel important. It felt important to me, this, the way they were hyping up, and you were kind of, and again, like I said, you were like, "Oh, this there could be a change here. Something could happen here." There wasn't a change, mainly due to Dominic Mysterio, who inadvertently, near the end of the match, kind of jumps on the ropes. Finn Balor gets crotched on the ropes, and Braun Breaker hits that big spear to win the match. After the match, the guys come in, Carlito and Dominic, who there come in, they attack Braun Breaker. Out comes Penta to make the save. Penta grabs the title. He then pushes it back onto Braun Breaker. And that's how Raw ends. Now, a little bit about this. I mean, all I would say is like, look, overall on Raw, it was propped up by John Cena. It delivered, that bit delivered. The Rhodes response was underwhelming, but it still made you left a little bit wanting more from it, which was good. Rollins was just an appetizer for SmackDown. I just felt that was flat and fluff when it should have been more oomph, if that makes sense. Great match between Penta and Kaiser. But but other than that, Raw was, it was okay, but it just felt as if they were going through the motions a little bit. And the ending of Raw, much like I don't have a problem with the Intercontinental Championship and Penta and that, it's like, would the Cena Cody bit at the start been better at the end? It's like a positional thing. We say this a lot, even about AEW actually, when we say, should that have been put there? Would you have put it there? No problem with the Intercontinental Championship main event in Raw, by the way. That's match wise. But should the Cena and Cody segment have ended Raw? Because what does, other than it proves Penta's next for the Intercontinental Championship and maybe proves there's more dissension in the Judgment Day, does it leave you wanting to watch Raw next week, or did WWE feel as if they'd done enough at the top end to make you want to watch next week? Anyway, I'll be watching next week because it's in Glasgow and it's on 8 o'clock at night. I don't care. In Bologna, Italy this week for SmackDown. We will be reviewing that once SmackDown goes off the air on Friday, I believe. Well, it could be Friday, it could be Saturday morning, depending, but it will be. SmackDown review will be back this week. I promise you that. We've got a special guest next week. Can't go into it. I want to get the interview done before I announce because who it is. It's someone very, very prominent in WWE, who has been prominent in WWE for many, many years. Not there at the moment, but be a good one to have before WrestleMania season. If you go on the channel right now, you will see Jason Joshua's Independent Showcase. We've got Atomic Wrestling's Independent Showcase coming up this week. Me on my own doing the NWA review tomorrow. The lovely Fee is in Texas. I hope you're having a really fantastic holiday, Fee. I can't wait until you're back to do NWA with you. We got some more NWA stuff coming up. Sam Stackhouse will be on in April. We're recording that one in April. We're looking forward to that. And the OVW head trainer as well is coming on to chat to us. Gangrel will be coming on as well. But guys, just keep it locked on the channel at HTT Buckle on X, at HTT Buckle on YouTube. Hit that subscribe button for all the videos. Go to our playlists. There is so much there for you to see. Go and do that. Follow us on Instagram at Hitting the Turnbuckle Podcast. We're going to be at Rumble Wrestling this coming Saturday. We're going to be, myself and Rachel will be heading off there to see our first ever Rumble Wrestling show. Really looking forward to that. Hopefully we'll see some of you there too. And until tomorrow, everybody, when I'm back for NWA, buckle down, stay safe, and goodbye.